right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the new intro. Yeah, that's right. All new intro for the Pine Room Podcast. A little bit of new music, some new style. I really haven't written a script for what to say yet, so here it is, the new intro. Yeah, maybe some sounds like a laser gun. Or some monkeys. Or some aliens. Or, explosions.
Missiles launched.
Either way, enjoy this for the time being, and enjoy the show. You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pine Room Podcast. I am back for episode 47.
He's back.
I took a day off, did some work back at the house. We should be doing work here, but we're a little delayed right now. We got some stuff back in the
supply chain issues.
Yeah, supply chain. We got big things coming to the office, but we're back here in the studio.
We got a couple of NASCARs.
Yeah, and speaking of that, real quick, I guess I'll throw that out there. Matt and cousin Sam did a NASCAR spin-off show, which will be also a part of Bettor's Last Stand, intertwined. That'll be coming out before the end of the week. So, I guess if you're listening, this could be out. That could be out yesterday. So check out our social media and YouTube and whatnot. But we're back here in the studio. We got Jarrett, Matt, Cooley, myself, and then Jeff is on the way. He'll be here soon. We got a caller in today, our good friend of the podcast, one of our very first guests that we ever called that had call into the podcast, Mr. Jerry Thomas. He is the fight coordinator of the Toughman. He also does some work with the Rough and Rowdy that came through here when we very first started, going and doing other stuff with the podcast. But we're going to have him call in here soon, and we're going to talk to him, get caught up on the Toughman that's coming up here soon that we might do some things with. We're not sure yet, but
this
we're
weekend,
gonna,
right?
Yeah, we're gonna
call up Kelly Tucker and get over to West Bank Arena. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
If you don't know what the Toughman is, it's a blast. How
would you describe it? Drunk and trailer parky type people fighting each other?
Yeah, it's like the degenerate boxing league. It's like a really... Now, here's the thing. There are some actual legitimate boxers that take pride in fighting in these things because it's good exposure.
Would you say legitimate?
I'd say some of those guys are wanting to at least get some exposure.
Legitimate at Jake Paul.
But I'm saying, like, the majority of what's in that is just like totally...
What's his name? Iceman from the Rough and Rowdy before. He was a scrapper.
Well, I think he fucked the dude up, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was our only winner, I think.
Yeah, Iceman won. I think he was the only guy that won.
But we're gonna talk with Jerry here soon. Talk about the Toughman, everything going on with him. There's some changes going on in the organization and stuff like that.
I want to ask him if he's got any up and coming ring girls. That's the real question.
Yeah, get him for our golf scramble.
Yeah. An office girl.
Yeah.
But
when are we gonna have our first female guest on here? Like as far as like,
we have to brainstorm some ideas.
Yeah, we gotta get a few involved here. I think. Guys, got anybody in mind?
In trouble? We haven't had. I don't know. We could have. Well, I mean, we did have a couple. We've had Lauren the Better call. For Bettor's Last.
Well, I'm talking more of somebody who's just going to sit here and be one of the cast members.
Oh yeah.
We need to recruit.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, like that would be a part, the regular.
Hey, if you're interested,
an employee.
Fill out your resume, send us a photo, blood type, all that stuff.
Interview you.
Contact at the Pine Room Podcast.
Yeah. 30-minute, you got to do a comedy reel, see how funny you are.
We just got to know that you can drink, you don't mind foul language.
Yeah.
Maybe like to gamble a little bit. Even if it's
not
not sports. And that's about it. Have an open mind.
To aliens.
We're pretty much we're pretty much open to anybody.
Yeah, believe in aliens and.
Speaking of that, we'll talk about that coming up. We got things all over the world just going nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's trying
the world
times.
is crazy. But more things to announce. Thank you to also Rocky, Kayleen, and Howard for obviously being the nucleus of why we're able to be down here and do what we do. Which is, speaking of, we got our WKKX radio show that is FM 98.1, 1600 AM, WVLY 97.7. AM 1370. You can check us out on the radio every Monday from 2 to 3. We got a good show on there. We had a really good show this past week. We had some callers calling in, talking about Duel, talking about the Super Bowl, talking about high school basketball, girls basketball. We got a lot of stuff going on and some more things to announce here soon, but we're having a really good time on the radio, and we're actually starting to get a good format down. We talked about a lot of good stuff, so if you got nothing to do and even if you don't have a radio, I don't know, I guess you have a car, so you'll have to have a radio. But
pretty soon they'll make them without radios. Yeah. Probably they don't have CD players anymore.
Yeah, then they'll just be like Wi-Fi. Just get Wi-Fi. But anyway, God damn it, I gotta quit saying anyway.
Anyhow.
I'm going to work on it. But you can listen to us on the internet. Go to the website, thewatchdognetwork.com, and you can listen to us live every Monday, 2 to 3. Listen to us talk about some stuff. And then we have our Pine Room podcast, which obviously you listen to right now. Find that everywhere you're listening to. Obviously, you found it somewhere if you're listening to this right now. But go listen to all the past ones. We've done 47 so far, so go listen to all the first ones. I actually sat back and listened to the very first one.
The one we did downtown?
Yes. And we've come a long way.
Oh, man.
We've come a very long way.
I'm sure we did.
I was cleaning
We also have working equipment, too.
Yeah.
Instead of having to share a microphone with 3 guys.
It's funny.
Menopause the musical.
Gosh, you can
That's
hear.
right.
You can hear, like, if Jeff wants to say something, there's a gap, and then you hear
the
mic come closer to him.
Yeah.
It comes in and out. But yeah, we've come a long way, and if you're interested in hearing where we started, go check that out.
iHeartRadio, baby.
iHeartRadio, down there in the studio.
Hey, Job, here's some things. Instead of saying anyway, here we go. Here's the synonyms for anyway. Anyhow. I don't think at all applies. At any rate. However. In any case. In any event. So they're all kind of the same variations.
In any event, I like that one.
Well,
in any event.
In any case, we have Better's Last Stand. That's our Wednesday show. That comes out every Wednesday. You can listen to that on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, anywhere you can find podcasts.
No, we tape Wednesday, out Friday. You said out every
Wednesday. Sorry.
Yeah.
We tape. That's our Wednesday show that we release on Friday.
Yes.
I read it wrong on here. But you can... Yeah, I see, I'm out of touch. I'm
At any rate...
Yeah, at any rate, we got our social media. That's at the Pine Room Podcast. We got some stuff going on there. You
guys got the workout video out, I saw.
Yeah, the second workout video just came out with Brad Becca and Belmont Savings Bank, BSB.
You look like you were struggling doing those ankle things.
Oh, did a tibialis raise.
Yeah, I did 100.
Oh, yeah, you were like, did your toes lock up on you?
That next day was the day that I was limping in here real bad.
Plantar fasciitis.
I was going to say that had to doing 100 of those.
My calves were a mess.
Shin splints.
Well, it would have been your calves. You'd be your
everything. We did
you did do calf raises.
We did calf raises. You can go check out that whole workout we do. I've put together that so you know what we're doing, and if you want to, you can actually follow along and do the workout with us. So go check that out.
If you actually do it, hey, send us some videos. We'd love to see.
That's like those Tybo videos.
Yeah,
you guys doing them on there.
That. Brad's been really cool with that. I know I said it last week, but Brad was awesome. We just finished up our last one, which would be last Sunday when they hear this. So. We finished up number 6. It was really cool. I don't know if we're going to do a follow-up to do the testing or not, but...
We're going to try to do it because we did testing at the very beginning, and we're going to try to do testing at the end, give a final wrap-up, say thank you to Brad, all that kind of stuff, but we'll see how that falls. Our email, contact the Pine Room Podcast, like Matt said earlier. Email us. We love emails. Yes. We don't get many of them. I know it's kind of a dead way of communication. So, I mean, if you got time, if you're sitting at work one day and just want to send in a topic, send in a question.
Your boss won't know. We won't tell him.
Yeah,
send it from your work email.
Yeah, but you can send in all that stuff. Ask us questions, send us comments, tell us what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right. Send it contact@pineroompodcast.com. We got the Pine Room Shop. You can go get your gear, go get your fun stuff. We got two things that will be coming out within the week of you hearing this. Phone cases will be coming out, and then we have some summer gear. We have shorts and a new T-shirt coming out.
Summer
plus,
gear. Plus
some other more things.
Cooley's favorite time of year.
I was gonna say, don't even get me started.
Well, I was looking on the new drop shipper. You can get golf covers.
Oh, like driver head covers?
Actually?
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Perfect. For the golf scramble.
Right now, I have a Thanos head cover for my
you get the
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet.
He wants Pine Room gloves. For mittens. Yeah.
No fingers.
Yeah, no fingerless gloves. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get we'll get Pine Room batting gloves and receiver gloves, and then we'll start sponsoring. We'll start NIL deal people.
That would be cool.
Juju.
What?
That's right.
What else could we get? Like the Gatorade jugs. What else?
That might be expensive.
Pool balls.
What about swim trunks?
Pool balls with Champ's head on them.
Pine Room Podcast swim trunks.
You can get Speedos.
Oh,
yeah, we gotta get that.
Perfect. How about bathing, like a swimming cap?
Yeah, bald caps. Yeah, bald caps. There's a bunch of different stuff. I'll look it up during the yeah, you can get it. Oh, another thing that you can actually get, and it's the first one I saw because I've been changing the drop shipper for our gear. If you don't know what drop shipping is, real quick, we don't actually. I'm not stitching the
even
gear
though
together.
It comes the return address is you.
Yeah, it's you're getting gear that is being printed with our stuff on it. We don't actually make the clothing. It's like I'm not stitching a shirt together so you can have it. We have a
really your mom's up running the sewing machine and your dad's boxing. Jarrett's throwing all the packing peanuts in there. It's a family assembly line.
Yeah. So we send out to another business who puts our logo on stuff, and they send us yada. But the first one that I found, because I couldn't find it in the last one, and then the next one, but in this one that I found, we can have rags. So I was thinking we can put our say sweat towels.
Yeah. Perfect time for summer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a hot night, and he's going down to the 19th hole.
Yeah. So speaking of merch and stuff, we did a huge giveaway. It's not huge. We're not giving away millions of dollars, but we did our biggest giveaway. We gave away a pair of AirPod Generation 3s. We went out and got those, and
that almost bankrupt us.
Yeah. Jarrett was doing tag day at Walmart.
Save a lot.
I was out there. I said, "Please, I need money for my Little League baseball team." And then the lady saw me go in and buy an AirPods with the money.
Yeah.
But those we did that with Brad Becca and his social media presence. We gave that away. But the winner of that giveaway was actually Austin, one of our followers, follower of the podcast, fan of the podcast. Appreciate everything that all of his support. And he's gonna have a new pair of AirPods to take home and listen to some tunes and listen to the podcast on.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
He's working out.
Yeah, so that's all. I mean, that's all we got. That's all we got as far as announcements.
Good catch up.
But we got a lot of stuff going on in the world today. Yeah. Got a lot of things. You guys, your big weekend, man. Big Sunday. Whew.
Are you still Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Super Bowl, Cooley's birthday, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's Cooley's birthday today.
Yeah, it is my birthday today. 25.
Halfway
to 30.
Start singing, but jeez. Oh.
Well,
no.
Halfway to 50, but
he's pushing 30.
Everybody said that to me today. Nobody ever gets it. They're always like,
what?
Everybody keeps saying halfway to 50, but I mean like from 20 to 30.
No, I know what you mean, but then you start thinking in that terms, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't matter. Age is stupid.
But we did have a good shindig for Cooley's birthday.
It looked like it. Jeez, you're double fisting.
A lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of hydration. We did really well, keeping the bones hydrated.
Where'd you guys go? One of the Mexican joints I saw.
Yeah.
What's that place called?
El Zocalo.
Oh, El Zocalo. Okay.
Free advertising.
Yeah, not a sponsor, but if you want good Mexican food.
That's a good place.
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
I ate the rest of my fajita at about 3 a.m.
Did you really?
Best food I've ever had, and I don't even like Mexican food.
So you don't like Mexican or Italian?
No, I mean, I'll take Mexican over Italian, but
really,
to me, Mexican just
you're from the you're definitely a Pacific Rim guy.
Yeah, we went. My dad bought me $50 of Coach bought me $50 of Panda Express gift cards.
Oh, the one at the mall.
No, the one that's in Morgantown.
That Panda Express at the mall's not that one either?
I don't think is there a Panda Express at the mall?
Yeah, there is. They're right there by in the same over from where Longhorn is. It's newer.
No,
it's Panda Kitchen.
No, it changed names. It was Panda Express.
Because I know that chain, and then you said he thought it was the one downtown.
Yeah.
So where'd you have to drive to get the Chinese?
I haven't had it yet.
I'm thinking I have to go to Mongolia.
Go get my pepper beef
straight over the wall.
But you guys want to talk about the Super Bowl? I don't have much to say.
I don't have much to say.
Go ahead, shoot, fire away.
You hated the coin toss, and then it ruined your day. Now, if you wanted to hear about the Super Bowl, tune into Bettor's Last Stand. We talked about it yesterday on the radio. I don't know, Cooley, we didn't get any thoughts from you. Everyone's heard our opinions, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the only thing about the Super Bowl is I almost hit a really awesome bet.
Yeah, you did.
You should have been proud of me, Matt.
What did you need?
I had Jalen Hurts and Travis Kelce scoring 2 touchdowns each, but I also had Hurts scoring the first touchdown.
Wow.
And it was $10 to win like $1,500.
Yeah.
Kelce not getting another catch the rest of that game. Well, not another catch, but like another target in the red zone had been sick.
But that would have been a really, really good bet.
I had Nick Bolton for MVP, and I was hoping that second fumble recovery. I thought it was a fumble, but I could see why they changed it. That would have been incredible. Oh.
Do you think if he would have got it, he probably would have...
I don't know how you don't.
I don't know how you couldn't, because it'd be the only time that defensive player ever scored twice in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the Eagles would like come back and it ended up being the seesaw game, because I think that the Chiefs had the momentum at that point too, and they were getting ready to take command if that goes. But here. We've been infiltrated.
Vader.
Oh, no.
It's better than a bed bug.
God, I hate.
I do want to get your guys' opinion though on a couple of things. Super Bowl related, the halftime show and any commercials, because we didn't get to talk about it. We ran out of time yesterday.
Honestly, the only commercial I even really remember is the Tubi
TV.
Oh, the one that everybody thought was out.
That was good. That
was a really good.
What was it?
I thought Say was going to grab me by the throat and kill me because he thought I changed the channel.
So, Jubb, and if you weren't paying attention, so Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson, who were calling the game, they were the commentators. There's a Tubi commercial, and it comes on. You don't know it's Tubi. It doesn't say anything. So those guys come back, and they're like talking, doing like a reset of the game, and then it goes boo, and it's like it says it puts something up like this channel was no longer available.
It looked like it was something like that. Somebody was changing the channel,
and then like you should have heard people in our book screaming at us, and I knew because I just happened to glance and I saw that those guys were wearing different outfits, so I immediately was like, this isn't live. They're not wearing the same thing. So that's the only reason I didn't get fooled.
This is gonna sound like such a nerd thing to say, but I knew as soon as I saw it, the picture, the way it didn't look like the game. I saw it, I was like, this isn't.
Yeah, and the background of the stadium was it was just like a generic football field behind it. So I kind of caught, but man, people were screaming and yelling, "What the hell's the matter with you?" Like.
Champ probably had a heart attack.
And then it was a Tubi commercial.
Tubi. I saw that. That was a good one.
I'll tell you one.
There was one with the dad that went and got the binky.
And then said the lady said that's not the color
wrong.
one she likes.
It was a yellow one or blue one or
that
something.
One was kind of funny.
And I can't remember the company, so I guess they did a bad job.
I don't either.
You know, it was stupid. Did you guys see the Gronk FanDuel kick a field goal? I didn't even see it.
I never saw it.
I thought it went in.
Yeah, people were so confused.
It took a hard hook, but I thought it went in.
And he ended up missing it. And I got $10 out of it.
I never saw it. No, I didn't see it.
I just watched that Tubi commercial. It scrolled to play Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's right. Yeah. Because I only ever saw it one time. One that I found funny, it wasn't even really that good of a commercial, but it just reminded me of Champ, is the one with the Pringle. The can, did you guys see that one?
Oh, I don't know if I saw that one.
Everybody had a Pringle can stuck on their arm. It was like they were all doing various things. And it reminds me of him, because when he gets down towards the end of the can and he's getting them with his oysters, and he's shaking and he's down in there and he's going and he's reaching in there, and sometimes he'll have it up in the air like that. It reminded me of him. It's like Captain Hook with a Pringle.
He can't grab it with his fingertips. It's got with his knuckles.
He got some issues with those.
I saw the one with Steve Martin that was the Pepsi commercial, and then there was another one with Ben Stiller where it was the same,
where they were saying they were an actor, and it was like you got to try the Pepsi to be sure they're not pretending.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there were none that really stood out.
Well, like the old days, but then again, everything's on social. So.
What about the halftime show, Cools? I know you're a big Rihanna fan.
I am a big fan, but I wouldn't say it was just an awful show, but I didn't think it was great either. I just thought it was just simple.
Yeah.
No guests, nothing, just a basic show.
I mean, she was pregnant. That's the thing. I give her
She
credit
is?
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell when she came out.
I didn't
He didn't
watch
watch.
it.
Oh, yeah.
But like Jubb, she's wearing this like red suit thing, and you can like she's basically alluding to it by grabbing herself and shit. But I like her. I thought it was fine. I like the levitating things. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I better people bitching about it and then people saying it's the greatest ever. I would go in between that. I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
they said
I
she
was-
lip synced, but
Yeah, but
Who doesn't?
but
Who
whatever.
doesn't? Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
she's
Did you
good.
guys see that video of that the backup dancer almost falling
Yeah,
off that
I did.
platform?
Shit,
They almost
how many-
fell backwards.
How many
I mean,
dancers do you think they had?
God, there were a lot.
It seemed like hundreds.
There were a lot.
They look like minions out there.
Yeah, they were dressed
That
in
is
like
big
I
ass
don't know,
white
what-
coats.
Yeah.
Yeah, like furs out of Game of Thrones or something. Like
Yeah.
big furry coats.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you could bet on. I saw you put yesterday on the sheet. You could
Yeah.
bet on the first
we had
and
our
last song.
first and last songs. We had those, and
I was actually
what
thinking
was the
color
about
last
she was
one?
wearing. The last one was a song that I know. Oh, crap.
Umbrella.
No,
the
no,
first one was
no.
bring.
The other one's something about money. I don't know that. I don't
Bitch
really know
better
that.
have my
Yeah, there
money.
you go.
Yeah,
that one.
better
Yeah.
have my money, and then I can't remember what the last.
The
one
last
was.
one was something that was. It was.
It wasn't Shine Bright, was it?
No, it was. Damn.
Maybe it was.
Diamond?
It
No,
might have
I
been.
got it on. It's let's see here. Diamonds. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, then it was cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I was
Wins.
thinking
I knew it was a name that I knew. I
This
knew that
is-
one wasn't what it was called, but even though that's probably what it's saying in the song.
this is so weird. I actually thought about this morning while I was working out. I was like, what if you were a backup dancer and you you went through the routine, so
Embed it.
you knew what song they were going to play. So
Yeah, I don't know how they would ever stop anybody from doing that.
Yeah,
'Cause
that-
I don't know how you're going to
it's
be able
not
to
like
know
you
the
know.
names of those people.
yeah, it's not like you know.
I wonder if they signed some kind of contract.
They probably have to sign an NDA, but it doesn't mean they can't tell their friends. So.
Yeah, and say, hey, can you put $1 million on this for me? And
Well,
then-
I think that would draw some attention.
Yeah.
I think they'll take 1,000 minimum or maximum on something like that.
Did you guys see? And I do have a gripe about the Super Bowl. And
Just
about,
one?
Well, yeah, well, many, but they flipped this car. The Eagles fans flipped this
Yeah, I
car.
did see that.
Did you see that?
Well, that's Philadelphia.
I think that number one, anybody that ever does that is an absolute buffoon.
Mountaineer fans.
who deserves locked up and beaten with sticks. Because can you imagine? You go maybe you had work that day. You know, you get home, get ready for the Super Bowl. You watch it, then you come outside and your car is flipped over. Everything's ruined.
Yeah.
It's awful because those people don't care about anybody else. It's
Right.
all about them, and because of their little their games going on. I absolutely cannot stand fans that think the whole world revolves
I
around
agree.
their stupid game.
I think if we're going to do that, you go to the richest neighborhood in the area.
Yeah,
and
dude.
take one of their cars.
Yeah, and they're like,
because they got plenty of.
And in the
cars.
video, they're in a neighborhood. It's like a normal looking neighborhood, and they just flip this car just
Yeah.
because they can. Like, and they're all cheering and laughing about it.
I saw a guy break a street sign too, just because I think that because you have this reputation that you're a Philly fan. It's so dumb.
You're an
Yeah,
idiot.
it is.
You should be locked up with all the people that we talked about. What was it? The officers. What were the officers we said we would hire that would walk around? The polite officers. The one if you see somebody cut in front of somebody, that officer takes you and puts you in a car and then drives you to like Wyoming.
The Nazis?
No, we had a conversation where it was.
I can't remember what
I
this
don't
is.
remember that either.
It was-
I might not have been on.
No, it was. It was
like
your
if I don't hold
courtesy
Oh,
officer.
courtesy. Okay.
Your courtesy officer.
all
So
right.
if you
Courtesy
have
patrol.
1,400 items in a shopping cart, and Billy's got a little bucket with sand toys
I'll
in
let
it,
him go ahead.
you let him go ahead. But if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
the
yeah.
dickhead that
I
won't
got
let
you.
him go ahead, that courtesy officer grabs you,
Yes.
throws you in a van, and they drive you out to the state.
Electrocutes
And
you first.
they lock you with all those people. Yeah, they got
Oh,
a stun
yeah.
baton.
Yeah.
So if I don't hold the door open for you, you're going to break my
Take a
kneecap?
few
Yeah,
volts
you
and
get
then-
punished.
Jesus.
No, I'm all
I don't know
for
about
that.
all
So
that.
all those people should be
Philadelphia. That's
shit.
why I don't like them in
I'd be
anything.
the nicest guy in the world.
They should lance Philadelphia from the
You guys were probably too young to remember, but do you remember when they were doing that in Morgantown when Mountaineers were kind of good at basketball?
What
Oh,
they
they
burn
burn
Well,
scotches.
they flipped the car over, lit it on fire. Then the couches that they think is so cool to burn, but it's hard to burn it when you're 4-10 in the conference. this year.
Yeah, I was. Morgantown used to be a pretty cool place. I think now it's just it is
I
completely
consider-
lost. It's I think nobody. They say, oh, they're the best party school. I don't think anymore. I
they're an
don't think they're
embarrassment.
even like
suck at
even
everything.
considered
They're
any,
embarrassing.
anymore.
There's
than
nothing to
anything.
celebrate
There-
there anymore.
Yeah, there's a
All
not-
the teams are bad.
They're the
Not good.
Philadelphia of our area.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the one sport they do they're good at?
That's the only
rifle.
one good.
They are good.
The rifle one or something?
Yeah, but even that, I don't think that's like when you... again, citation needed here, but I don't think that gun is like... I don't think you could kill I
don't think you're supposed to. I'm sure you could probably use live ammo.
Is it like a 20? Let me go look it up. But that gun, the barrel's is about as big as a pinhead. I mean,
yeah, there's no recoil.
It's like a pellet gun.
Yeah, you don't
put like a 12 gauge in that. Like make them.
Surprised they haven't outlawed that.
Shoot a slug. Shoot a 50 cal. Make them really shoot something that matters.
Oh, yeah.
Not a little
like a mile away that they got to shoot.
It's like in biathlon when they ski and they got to shoot
that
those
would
targets.
Be cool, Jarrett.
Or just put them in like a 50 cal machine gun and have them. How many?
Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Well, like hit a moving target. Like put somebody in some body armor.
How far you can throw a grenade or something like that. Like
that gun Kevin Costner had in Waterworld on his boat.
Yeah, but no, I think hardcore sports fans like that that like in that moment, all that matters is that game.
Buffoons.
Just absolute waste of air. But anyways, that all. God damn it. Anyhow, anything else about the Super Bowl? Any?
No, I'm just glad it's over. No more football till August. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Actually, we got XFL and
we got
USFL.
Oh, yeah, the draft. Yeah, that'll be somewhat interesting.
At least it was it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was. Had some entertainment.
I think it was one of the better Super Bowl games we've had in a while.
I feel like the hype surrounding it was like
it was so low.
Yeah, like I feel like nobody even really cared about it.
It's the first time that our house we just nobody did anything. It was just we
just
stayed.
Watched it.
Yeah,
except for you.
I mean, I do that every year, but no. Here's one more thing about sports: the draft. I don't get it. I don't understand the hype around.
You gotta understand when your team sucks.
Just builds
all
hope.
year.
That's all.
You got to have something to root for.
It's like reading Bible verses that make you feel good about yourself for a few minutes, and then the real world.
Yeah. What's the time between picks? Like,
5 minutes in the first round, and then it gets faster.
But I'm
maybe
like
10
saying your Bucks pick. When's the next time they pick? Is it like an hour?
Oh no, they pick. It might be one time in the whole day.
Well, for the first round, they dedicate a whole day to it.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And then the second day is like second through third round, and then the third day is fourth through seventh.
So you wait all day, and then you hear one name and go, yeah!
Yep. Yeah. I want to go to the draft. I think it'd be awesome.
Well, where's it at this year?
Was
Vegas last year?
I think it was Vegas last year.
You'll probably just keep it in Vegas.
Super Bowl's in Vegas next year. They revealed the new Super Bowl logo, and it's literally the same exact thing they had.
I don't even know what it is.
50 Super Bowls.
Nick's checking in right now.
I hate sports.
He just sent a long message.
Well, I guess we'll get off of Super Bowl talk. Maybe
Daytona 500 this week. There we go.
Yeah, that's at least I'll enjoy that.
Cars flipping over, going 200 miles an hour.
Matt, do you remember our first argument about NASCAR on the podcast?
The one where about the turns?
About the drivers being athletes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
I'll never forget that. I still believe they're not athletes.
Not athletes?
Yeah.
Do you think you could keep up?
Well,
these guys are in pretty good shape.
I wouldn't say that. What do you mean?
Like, do you think you
could...
as
a driver?
Like, say you get a car that's kitted out just like all the other ones, and you got to stay in the race.
Well, no, because, I mean, I have no practice. But, like, in turn, I could beat them in a race on my feet and jump higher than probably most of them and be more athletic.
I think it comes in terms of, like, what does the athleticism equate to? Like, is it mental athleticism? Is that a thing?
Should be.
I don't think.
I mean,
like chess is.
But certain guys.
No, not athletic.
Certain guys are very tough though mentally. I would say the chess thing, it's tough because you're just moving a piece. I mean, a guy with no arms could do that. But
that might be the only guy who can.
I don't know. I think mental makeup is a huge part of being an athlete.
Well, athletic, physically strong, fit, and active.
That was always my argument.
Right, but you can do it. But if you suck at it, even though you can do all those things, maybe you don't have the brain to be able to be good at it.
Yeah,
I think you need both, to be honest. But
sometimes brain is better than brawn.
That car, being in that car for 5 hours at a time on an angle where you can't blink, that seems like a strenuous thing to my body.
Yeah.
Do you think they eat before the day of the race?
Yeah, they have dietitians. The pre-race, they have certain things they do, certain water regimens, certain meals they'll have for energy at high times. Yeah,
they have to have some sort of before that race. They have to have some sort of like,
and they lose like 15 pounds in the hot days.
They have to have like some kind of food that is a blockage. Like a blockage.
Yeah. I mean,
like a bunch of rice.
They are about 2 days out. They're trying to make sure their bowel tract obviously is not going to have any effects. So going to Burger King or Dairy Queen today, that ain't happening. They're getting their chefs preparing a meal. Like, okay, this is going to be, we're having a chicken salad this night, and we're having.
You don't think
fish.
Ryan Blaney's having like a double stack at Arby's with extra horse?
I guarantee you, though, I've heard guys talk about after the race what they go do and how they just go crush stuff.
I bet that. Imagine like winning a race and then you get to go.
Yeah.
Just have an incredible meal.
First of all, a lot of them are beer sponsors, so like Busch Light, chug a beer. You probably get drunk immediately because you've lost like 15 pounds. All the fluid in your body's gone. It's like immediately there's beer and blood in your body.
Completely replaced by beer.
And you go get a rack of ribs or something.
Oh, man.
Or blooming onion.
Gosh, that's a meal after like a win is so much better than obviously a meal after a loss.
Right.
Like there's just something that like
a meal to me is good anytime.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes though you drown your sorrows around.
I guess you're right.
Like 48 wings and two large fries and 9 Cokes. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, a cold Jimmy John's sub and a cookie doesn't taste very good after a loss on the road.
When it's been sitting out in front of the bus for 2 hours
in your freezer
before your game's even over. Yes, it's cold. It's starting
Flies
to
buzz around.
My ham's frozen.
My ham is crunchy. I don't think it's supposed to happen.
Job hates cold
Jimmy
sandwiches.
John's should be shut down. I mean, what's the point of Jimmy John's?
So just because you don't like cold meat, it should be shut down?
I'm saying, what's the point of it?
Make sandwiches.
But why can't they have a toaster?
Chubb, don't you like their bread? You don't even like it. You couldn't even say like, if this is warm, it'd be pretty. I think their bread's really good.
I went in one time. I said, I have an Italian toasted. They said, we don't have a toaster, and I didn't eat.
Right. Well, if you bring it home, warm it up. Ooh.
I think I gave it to him. I think I gave it to him.
You can't eat like a slice of turkey?
No.
So you like Jersey Mike's better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jersey Mike's Firehouse is incredible.
Yeah,
those are the best. I want to have one of those around here.
People shit on Subway, but Subway's a good meal.
I like Subway.
They redid their menu a little bit. There's some of those things. I tried a couple of them. They're good.
Yeah, I mean, I had you get a loaded up steak and cheese on a toasted piece, a toasted bun. I mean, they can't get much better than that.
They even made the meatball one different now. It's good.
I'm saying sub-wise. I mean, who makes a better sub? I mean, I'm going to say
they're not much because food around here sucks.
Job, the big news though is that this is huge, and it's going to make me huge. I'm going to be like 300 pounds. Is that Dunkin' Donuts out on National Road is dangerous?
Do you not agree though that that's a stupid move to put in 3?
Well, if he's going to be 300 pounds, I'm sure he's a pretty big fan of the movie.
No.
You mean with the Tim Hortons there?
Yeah, I'm saying there's a Tim Hortons there. They're going to put that in, and then the Starbucks in the one building, right?
Yeah, an AC buffet, I believe.
So why have 3 of the
I get what you're saying with coffee competitors and stuff. Tim Hortons is solid, but I don't love I think their donuts aren't that good. Breakfast sandwiches are decent. I'm just a big Dunkin' donut fan.
Because they have a bunch in Ocean City, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I also usually get fractured prune, but
that's right.
Yeah, but the Dunkin's like my second favorite. In donuts.
What do you get from there?
Just any. I mean, I'll mix it up. Just any. Honestly, I'm like Jubb. When it comes to the donuts, I don't really have a favorite. I'll eat them all, and I mean, I will eat them and eat them and eat them and eat them. If you put 20 of them in front of me, I'll probably eat all 20.
Jelly filled, chocolate glaze, original glaze, chocolate filled.
I remember that day.
Sprinkle ones.
When you got those fractured prune donuts at Ocean City, and I think I walked to Starbucks. We had about 1 million beers the night before, and I came back and those donuts were there. I was like,
eating that donut was like eating like I got injected with adrenaline.
Are you a coffee guy, Matt?
No, hate coffee. I'll be my donuts with a cold Coca-Cola Classic. That's how I do it. Fuck with that. Sugar rotting my teeth everywhere. I've never had a cavity. It's impossible.
Now you get Cools gets what do you get from Starbucks?
Well, I get iced coffee,
But
I mix.
I've had this
but
a
you
couple
don't
times.
get like
I don't get straight
just
black
coffee and an ice thing, not just coffee with ice.
Well, like black coffee,
Like a black
on ice?
iced coffee.
No,
you
like one
get
of
like
those-
a vanilla
those-
macchiato
yeah,
extreme
yeah.
caramel melt frappe or
Those, like,
something.
Well, I
special
don't get
ones.
frappes, but yeah,
But it's like got all the sweet shit in it.
it's not
Vanilla,
like black
pumpkin
coffee.
spice.
Yeah, my thing is do you think anybody genuinely likes the taste of coffee?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Like straight coffee.
Yeah, people drink it straight.
Well,
I
Job,
think
ask
they're
you
lying.
this. You don't. You're not a big beer guy.
No.
A lot of people say, "How could you like the taste of beer?"
Well, everybody tells me it's acquired taste.
It
Well, if
is.
it's an acquired taste, it's not good.
It becomes good because that's all you drink.
Exactly.
That's all you have to
Exactly.
drink,
So
yeah.
it's like, okay, if I
you
drink
think anybody that drank water thought it tasted good at first? I mean, now I can't live without it.
we were talking about water down here one day about like
Pure
what's
Life?
Yeah, Pure Life's good. I had pulled up a list
Oh
of
yeah, I remember that.
the best
Nick's
ranked-
water rankings.
Yeah, and
What do you have? Deja Blue #1.
if
I forget what-
Aquafina is your favorite water, unsubscribe.
Stop listening.
Don't listen to this podcast anymore.
Aquafina. I think it was.
Aquafina gets a bad.
I like Dasani.
Bullshit. It's terrible.
Dasani is the one that's bad.
See, I don't think so. They got the tinted bottle, which doesn't have the plastic melt into the
But
water.
Dasani
I'll
has,
give-
like, bubbles going up because it's like
No, that's what I think. I think it was our friend Sam texted yesterday. Said you shouldn't open a bottle of water and it goes. Psst.
Oh yeah, carbonated
But
water.
I'll say what Dasani does have good coming for it is they have a bigger
Yes, they do.
top, a bigger thing.
like a bigger hole.
Big hole.
Yeah, big
wide hole.
I was gonna
Pure Life-
glaze
They
over
used
it
to
and
call
I
those
couldn't.
wide
Pure
mouth. Yeah.
Pure Life has a nice
You guys,
narrow.
you guys
hole.
probably don't remember this either. The cans are like cans of soda and beer had this like little fucking slit hole in it, and
Oh.
they just it was like a huge thing when they made the wide mouth cans, which every can is now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, it was
yeah,
like
I
a
don't-
big
yeah, we
deal.
don't-
Wasn't it like a little keyhole, like a
Well,
little?
yeah, and they had some that were tab pools. They weren't even like pops. They were like little,
Yeah.
like almost foil. You would,
and you, like,
off
pulled
a
it back?
Slit. Yeah,
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember
slice your mouth
when they
open.
first got like wide mouth can of Mountain Dew, because I wasn't even old enough to drink beer at that point. It was like the biggest deal. You could like chug one in like 4 seconds. So the old days would be like, and it would take you forever because the slit was so small.
You doing pop like that just made me realize that's why it's called pop.
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop a top.
I mean, I call it soda, but
yeah, soda. Yeah,
Soda pop.
it's just soda.
pop a top.
Yeah,
Aren't you supposed to like pull the tab back and then like fold it like? Are you like pull
You
it
can put
around?
You can put your straw through it.
Yeah, that's what it is. You
Straw.
can like.
well, we're not allowed to use straws. It's
That's-
got to be a paper
yeah.
straw. Might kill the turtles.
The paper.
Oh.
But if you use a straw for your soda, that's just stupid.
Yeah, you're going.
You can't just drink
High
it.
end. What about people that cut their candy bars with a fork and knife?
No, I've never heard.
Yeah, well, you
That's
guys
not a
see,
thing.
No, you guys. There was a whole Seinfeld episode about it. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right,
Guys cutting up an almond joy
Opens
and a milk.
opens the Snickers bar.
Yeah.
I saw a
Honey,
guy
get-
drinking.
They were eating M&Ms with a spoon.
How do you get the silverware?
Yeah.
I think somebody I
Dessert
saw
time.
was drinking something weird with a straw the other day.
Oh,
It might have been a
coffee?
beer. It might have been a beer.
no, I was
Oh,
beer.
Shut up.
no, I was at a bar and,
Oh,
and
beer with a straw.
somebody gave me a bottled twisted tea and she put a straw on the top of it.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
I
that's
like
what
that.
it was.
That's not a bad move.
So that guy with Jub.
It might have been.
I can get behind that.
It might have been a guy drinking beer with a straw, and I can't remember where the fuck I was.
Could you see a guy
fucking Bud Light.
drinking a cann of Bud Light with a bendy straw?
Like a pink, like a swirl one.
Yeah,
Has a
And
little
he-
umbrella.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear him at the end of the bar going,
No, yeah, I don't think I think coffee's people who like coffee and who like beer don't actually like it until their brain is like, okay,
You got to convince yourself you like it.
you have to fuck.
yeah, exactly.
Stockholm
Well,
syndrome.
if I
with
drink
your
this,
drinks.
if I drink this radiator fluid enough, it'll taste good.
There's
I
some
mean, I
people
like
that
it.
literally can't function without a coffee
Well,
in the
but
morning.
here's the thing
lot of
about
people.
those two, Job. They both have effects. Like
Yeah.
beer makes
yeah.
you have fun, and coffee makes you.
Well,
a
I wouldn't say
crackhead.
the beer. The beer makes you have
Well,
fun.
the alcohol.
What's the point of decaf coffee? No one can
No
ever
point.
explain that to me. Because if
No,
it doesn't, if the
it doesn't get
caffeine
you-
isn't that
yeah.
why you drink it?
That's what I
What's
thought.
no one like you say. It's like drinking non-alcoholic
Well,
beer.
that's, yeah, your dad likes those duels.
Yeah.
Is it less calories? Is that why?
I can't imagine.
Like my pap used to drink decaf.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It just tastes like shit.
Maybe
it just is like
It doesn't do anything.
hot shit.
Do you remember
water.
those old
shit.
Remember those old Coke?
Isn't
the
that what
decaf Coke?
that's what the little girl in The Last of Us said?
Oh, yeah.
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 Bella Ramsey
Yeah.
said
What'd
that.
she say?
Didn't she say hot
It
shit?
smells like hot shit.
The
Ew.
coffee. He had the coffee thing. Going
Oh
on.
yeah, it smells like
Yeah,
hot shit.
yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember those old Coke cans? They used to have decaf Coke, and they were in those gold cans.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
caffeine
I remember
free.
yeah.
Now the caffeine free, I can understand
Yeah.
that a little bit for the soda, but maybe not.
Well,
maybe I don't. Maybe
I
just
always-
because it tastes good at least.
I always wanted Red Bull that didn't have caffeine because I like the taste of Red Bull, but I can't drink two of them or else my heart's going to explode. Like now, I had one recently after not having one for a while, and I was on the moon. Oh, yeah. But in any matter, that'll do it for the first half here. Let's take a quick break here, and then we'll be right back. Go take a leak. Go get a snack.
Got a coffee.
Don't get a bottle of Aquafina, else just quit listening. We'll be back.
I might have an IQ of a boiled egg, but I like listening to the Pine Room Podcast. You are listening now to the Pine Room Podcast.
All right, so we have Jeff here in the studio joining us for the second half, and on the phone we have Jerry Thomas. So we're gonna kick it to Jeff he's been our in between. He's been our man of the hour. So we are gonna take Jerry Thomas.
Jerry, good evening, my friend. How are you?
Hey, good evening. I'm doing great. How are you all?
Very
Hey
good.
Jerry.
You're actually here with Jarrett and Jub Delbrook, Tyler Cooley, and Matt Watson, part of the Pine Room
All right.
Podcast.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Good.
So you know what? Thanks for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. I tell you what, the one thing that I've realized, Jerry
Absolutely
Thomas,
right.
you got the third guarantee in life, my friend: death, taxes, and you are a busy ass man.
Yeah, it's a busy time of the year for us, but it's things are going well. And we've had 3 events already this year. They were all great. We're actually back to pre-COVID attendance numbers, which is great.
Wow.
Oh wow, good for you. Where were those actually events take place at last week?
We have been in Huntington, West Virginia. We have been in Clarksburg, West Virginia, where we live, most of us. And also we just did an event in Parkersburg last weekend. And then, of course, we're coming to Wheeling. And then 2 weeks after the Wheeling event, we change hats, and we'll be doing Barstool Rough and Rowdy in Charleston at the Charleston Coliseum.
I tell you what, a bunch of movers and shakers, Jerry. That's not a bad problem to have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Much better than the alternative, right?
You know,
But yeah, it's good. It's busy but good. And we're having fun with these, and they're exciting. And after all these years, these events that I do, I get just as excited as the average fan in the audience.
Hey Jerry. So this is Matt from the PRP. So what's the fight card looking like this weekend? A lot of return fighters, people that you've met and seen before, have been in action.
There's a few return fighters, but honestly, Toughman really wasn't created in the beginning, and it's still not designed for people to make a career out of.
Sure.
Although, we'll get some people that will come back, a few times, but for the most part, somewhere between 75 and 80% of the fighters are brand new every time. Each year.
Do any of the fighters fight at multiple locations, or is that prohibited?
Some do. No,
Okay.
It's okay to do that depending on where they live. Obviously, if they live close enough, and it varies, but 100 to 150 miles roughly is kind of the mileage range we like to have them reside in, because Toughman really is designed, or was designed, and still is, for people. We have these all over the place, so it's designed, for example, in Wheeling for people who live in the region.
Right, all through the Ohio Valley. What's the
Valley, exactly, Ohio Valley? Is branched out, of course, or spread out. Anywhere from 100 to 150 miles or less. We used to try to maintain a 75 mile residence radius, and that's tough to do because there's so many people interested and that want to participate. So over the years we've kind of expanded that. Now the female fighters, because there's not as much interest in women competing, there's no limitation on residence for them. They could travel from anywhere in the country, and they're welcome if they qualify otherwise.
Do you see any increases in the female fight cards? Like, are you getting more females? Or
some, it varies. I mean, this weekend, for example, there's 13 women registered and 141 men. So you can see the disparity in the numbers, but that's normal. 90% of the fighters on average are male. We'll still get some females, and it varies. The most I think I've ever seen. I think one time we had 20 or 22 that actually competed, which is a big number.
I'd say.
Hey, Jerry, this is Jarrett. I wanted to ask, is there a big difference between preparing for Toughman and Rough and Rowdy? Like, is there a big disparity, or is it kind of similar?
It's similar in a lot of respect, in a lot of ways, as far as the basic setup. The arena, the officials, the trainers, the infrastructure is the same pretty much, or very similar. The big difference is Toughman is a 2-day tournament, and the Barstool Rough and Rowdy is a 1-night event with pre-matched fights. So we pre-match every bout. So the fighters, we screen them, of course. And for example, the March 3rd event in Charleston, which is our R&R 20, it's the 20th event for Barstool. Wow. We had about 600 applications for people that wanted to compete. And so myself and three ladies in the office, we had to sort through about 600 fighter applications.
Oh, wow.
And out of the 600, we had to select about 50. So, unfortunately, sometime the next few days, we're going to send out emails to 550 people, for example, on an average, explaining that we don't have a match for them and thanking them for their interest and suggesting that they reapply for the next event. But that's the nature of the beast. But there's a lot of time involved in the matchmaking process that is different than Toughman. Toughman, we don't start making matches until the day of the fight. And it's a different process because it's a tournament. So we wait until after the fighters weigh in, and we start the matchmaking process. 10 weight classes, 5 for men and 5 for women. And it's a pretty simple process. We just divide them up by their weight class and match them according to their actual weight that day and their height and their age and experience. And off we go.
Jerry, what's the cutoff for the entry, or has that already happened?
Actually, it was yesterday.
Oh, okay. What about for ring girls?
Ring girls, that was also yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, we were wondering if anybody listening to the show maybe wanted to apply for a ring girl. So anyway, maybe next time.
I think they're welcome to apply.
All right.
It's possible we could work them in.
Okay.
There's enough room there. Obviously, we always have room for beautiful women, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Always.
You can't have too many pretty girls in bikinis walking around.
No, sir.
I don't think anybody would complain about that.
No, not even close.
No, I don't think.
So you talked about the numbers, Jerry, about being 75 to 80% of most of the time it's people either they're new to this whole arena or they're one and done. What would you break that percentage down from a standpoint of people that actually want to be there, or they were sitting at the bar the Saturday before and a bunch of dudes talked them into doing it?
I actually think that there's still somewhat of a fact that is part of the routine or a factor. But one example of many I can give you. It's kind of a funny story, actually. This goes back. In fact, it was the Wheeling event 15 or 20 years ago. So we're doing the normal weigh-in where the fighters come in, at 4:00, and they sign in first, do their paperwork, and then they get on the scale, and then after that they see the doctor. Then they meet the trainers, get their hands wrapped, and we have a pre-fight meeting. But so I'm there near the door. People are coming in, and this guy comes in, and clean-cut guy, dressed in a suit and tie, and no gym bag. And I spoke to him when he came in, and he just seemed out of place. And so he came to the scales, and I happened to be helping weigh in that day. There was two of us, and so I weighed him in, and we have a little Q&A session. How you doing? Where you from? Did you train? What's your athletic background? That kind of thing. And his answers were all pretty much no to the above, all the above. And he didn't train. He'd never done it before. No athletic experience. And finally, we were, things loosened up, and we're kind of joking a little bit and laughing. And finally I just said, well, why are you here? And his response was, I lost the bet. So what happened, this was a classic. So apparently where he worked, and I don't remember where that was now, but the guys all decided that they would each chip in X number of dollars each, like $20 or $30, and so on. And there was about 10 or 12 people, so the pot was a few $100s. I think actually the pot might have been $400 or $500. So they drew straws, and whoever drew the short stick or short straw had to fight in Toughman.
Oh, wow.
And they got the money, right? But they had to fight. And the other guys, of course, came out, to cheer him on and so forth. So this guy lost the bet, or lost the draw. And so I thought to myself, man, this guy, I feel sorry for this guy, because, he wasn't prepared, no athletic background. And so we did our best to match him with someone, equal size and background. And and I thought for sure, he wouldn't do well. The first night he won. And I told everyone, I said, well, this guy, I told him the story. I said, well, this guy's probably not going to come back, and we won't see him tomorrow. So sure enough, Saturday night, here he comes, walking in the back door. And as soon as I saw him, I said, gee, I honestly didn't think you would be back. And he said, yeah, those damn guys won't give me the money until I get my ass whipped. Just like that. Of course, he definitely got his ass whipped the second night.
I tell you what, though, it takes a lot. I give people a lot of credit for getting up in that ring. Everybody just makes it out to be like such a simple thing. That's crazy.
Who has the guts and courage to get in the ring and compete in Toughman, deserves, our admiration, because it's not easy. It is fun. I get guys that tell me it's the biggest adrenaline rush they've ever had.
I can only imagine.
They're excited, and it's, of course, they don't want to do it again sometimes, most of the time, but it's something that they will not forget. It's a great life experience, and it's just something that they cherish, and especially if they win. You guys have probably seen this and noticed it, but you'll see people wearing that champion's jacket, right?
Yeah, yes.
And there are people that some people wear them out, and then other people keep it in the closet and only bring it out for the night of the event when they come show it off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a cherished thing, and I've had people tell me, look, once you win that title, that you're a Toughman champion for life, and people, a lot of people will remember that. Obviously, something he won't forget or she won't forget, and their kids and grandchildren and so forth. It's just it's a big deal. It really is.
Yes, absolutely. Jerry, tell our listeners a little bit about this weekend's events. Anything that's different than usual, or is it the same old Toughman that's been here for years in the Ohio Valley?
Yeah, actually, there are some things, some new things going on. we actually made some upgrades. We recently, in fact, just a month ago, replaced our ring that was 33 years old.
Oh, wow.
So there's a brand new ring, and because of a TV show that we were involved with FX about 20 years ago, we had, you might remember seeing the yellow and black colors and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was a logo that really was designed. It wasn't ours. It was designed by FX for that TV show. Well, we continued using that for a long time, and because it's pretty expensive to change that, and it looked nice, but I, talking to marketing people and looking at logo upgrades and so on, I realized that we basically for the last 20 years had two different logos floating around. And the original logo is what you see on the back of the Toughman Champions jackets, and that is the two tough guys looking at each other with the circle, and it's
you're like head to head.
Yes, sir.
Head to head, and the original Toughman contest. Well, that's red and black on white. That's the original logo. Of course, it's also on the T-shirts. The most popular one, of course, is the black shirt with that red and black and white logo. So, and I've been putting this off for a while, and I was toying with changing the logo and upgrading it. And after all these years, a lot of experts basically said, look, the original logo is iconic because it's been around so long that people identify with that. So we decided to continue, obviously, with the original logo and discontinue the old FX / yellow and black logo. So we replaced that ring and all the accessories with the original logo, the yellow and black. I mean, I'm sorry, not yellow and black, the red and white, red and black on white. And so you'll see a brand new ring with the original logo in the center, the one that you'll see on our website, the one that you'll see on the champions jackets, and so on. So we've done that, and we've also expanded the lighting and the sound production and some special effects. Like there's a hazer and a fogger for the opening. So it's going to look a little bit different, and we think better. So far it's been well received this year, and we like it. We like it a lot better. And so that's what you're going to see. So we made some upgrades, basically, in the production. The event itself, and we went from a yellow corner with yellow gloves and a black corner to red and black.
Oh, okay.
Which again, of course, red and black are the colors, red, black, and white. So we now have a red corner with fighters wearing red gloves and a black corner with fighters wearing obviously black gloves. So everything is now upgraded to match and tie in with our original logo and the color scheme.
Well, that sounds awesome. That sounds like some really nice changes. And
I think so. Yeah, we like. I mean, the canvas. It looks nice. It's different, of course, but it's the original logo, and so we're excited about that. And people seeing has been well received. Of course, some people won't notice the difference.
Yeah, you think that'll be alcohol related at all, Jerry?
Yeah, there you go. They get too much liquid courage or liquid blindness, whatever.
I like that. Liquid
There
blindness.
are people that won't notice the difference. Obviously, we do because we're dealing with it, and we have this investment in it. But I've had a lot of great comments and feedback from people, regular fans and friends who've been around for a long time, former champions as well. So we've got that going on, and we've also expanded our broadcast production. We broadcast, live stream, pay-per-view. Then we also offer all the events now on after the event. about 2 days later, it's uploaded to our video on demand platform, which is accessible through our website. So you can actually go on our website and watch the via video on demand, just like watching Netflix. You can watch last year's wheeling event if you want.
Jerry, does that cost money to watch?
Yes, there's a fee.
Okay,
I think it's $10, $9.99.
Gotcha. Oh, everybody, all of our listeners can afford that, I think.
Yeah.
Hey,
so we've added a couple of new cameras to the broadcast production. We now have a handheld camera on the ring apron. We also have one of the guys in the broadcast team interviewing some of the fighters afterwards, which we haven't done in the past because we didn't have enough manpower in that group or that team. So in those graphics now, more graphics are being added to the broadcast video. So a lot of things like that, little things like that, but we think they're adding up to improving the quality of the video and the show itself. Fighters' names and stats on the screen, just like you normally would see, on a major boxing production. That
sounds really cool. Jerry,
I think so. Yeah, we like it, and I think people are liking it so far. And the fighters, of course, and the other thing you guys probably never noticed, but we have a couple. Of course, West Banco has those huge video screens on all four sides of the scoreboard, so people can see, the video and also see the replays. We're doing some replay stuff, but the fighters have a couple of 50-inch TV screens in their area, and they're set to I believe it's a 5 or 10 minute delay. So if you're fighting in Toughman Friday night, when you get out of the ring, when you go back to the fighters area, you can actually watch your fight.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Immediately. Something our broadcast people, Rodney Irvin, Mountain State Video Imaging, does our broadcast production, and he came up with that idea, which I thought was really, really nice for the fighters to be able to immediately see, their fight.
Yeah.
And of course they can get the video later, but it's really nice for them to be able to see it right on the scene.
That sounds fantastic. Jerry, before we let you go, tell our listeners about tickets and anything they need to know about the events on Friday, start times, and that kind of basic stuff.
Sure, be happy to. Well, first of all, it's this Friday and Saturday night, the 17th and 18th, at West Banco Arena, Wheeling, downtown Wheeling. And it's the 42nd annual Ohio Valley Tough Man, Tough Woman contest. The gates are going to open at 5:30 p.m. and the event will kick off at 7 p.m. sharp both nights. We'll have presentation of the colors by the Marine Corps Color Guard, singing the national anthem by Brandy Morris, our house singer in Wheeling. Been singing the anthem for a long, long time. And, again, as I mentioned, 5 divisions for men, 5 for women. There's 154 people registered to compete. Tickets are available, $24.50 for general admission tickets, $29.50 for reserve seating. And you can buy tickets online very easily at westbancoarena.com, or you can actually, there's a link on our website at wvtoughman.com. Just click on purchase tickets and it takes you right to the e-tix order page, or you can buy tickets at the door. Both nights will be available at the box office at West Banco Arena. The only other thing I'd like to mention is that, of course, there'll be plenty of ice cold beer on tap, obviously plenty of ice cold Bud and Bud Light, and some other brands as well. Of course, the arena has all kinds of food vendors there, as you guys know. And a lot of people just, they'll come down after work and have dinner there,
Oh, yeah.
Or have dinner in town and then walk over. But
or drink their dinner, Jerry.
There you go. Some guys do that. They have the liquid dinner. That works as well. But it's going to be great 2 nights of excitement and action, as it always is in Wheeling, and we're looking forward to it. Wheeling is I refer to Wheeling, the event, as the Super Bowl of Toughman, because it is our biggest event.
Awesome.
And it has been for many, many years, and actually been dubbed one of the top 5 events in the nation for a long time. Just the number of people that participate and also attend, obviously. But it's going to be great, man. So we look forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely.
At the arena this weekend.
No doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry, that is, I'm glad to see that the numbers are coming back for you guys, especially pre-COVID. So that's exciting in itself. It's nice to see that our world's starting to get back to a little bit of normalcy, and I'm sure you're pretty happy about that as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure. So everyone got a raise.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's a beautiful thing. And we, from the podcast ourselves, we really appreciate you always giving us your time.
You're welcome.
It's always very much appreciated.
And we'll see you this weekend.
That sounds good.
great.
All right, we'll be in contact, Jerry. Have a great night.
Take care. You guys too.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, and we want to hear from you. Send us feedback, questions, or topics you'd like us to discuss to contact@thepineroompodcast.com. Look, we might not be the best podcast out there, but I know one thing for certain. There's sure as hell ain't anyone better. You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast. Great conversation there with Jerry Thomas. Really got some good insight as far as the Toughman goes and all the new stuff they're doing there, some preparation and stuff like that. You know, it's cool to see stuff in Wheeling getting kind of an uptick in what they're doing.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd. What's that, juxtaposition?
Yeah, that's like when they call the Jamboree in the Hills the Super Bowl of country music.
Yeah.
But no, good conversation with him. We appreciate him calling in, and thanks for Jeff for coming in. Jeff had to run, got some Valentine's Day plans, but thank you to Jeff for coming in and talking to Jerry with us. He's been kind of our in-between guy, talking to Jerry and getting some information from him and back and forth. We were had talks with Jerry back in the day when we did our first Rough and Rowdy video where we went in and talked to some guys, and still getting in contact with some of the fighters now. But
yeah, back when we had about with 7 followers and
yeah,
10 listens.
Yeah, but no, we really appreciate that and appreciate everything that he does, and hopefully we'll stay in communication with him for quite a while. But thank you to Jeff, thank you to Jerry Thomas. Let's get back to your regularly scheduled programming here with a little bit of we can hit some of these news and notes
be expedited,
and a little bit of some history. We're gonna keep it concise.
Keep it all in one.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. A lot of stuff. Be careful where you're drinking your water, especially if you like the tap. Hope you got a Brita filter. There's the that train that was derailed in Ohio, which is insanity.
East Palestine?
Yeah, East Palestine. Apparently had some chemicals in it, some kind of chloride, some kind of corrosive chemical or something, or some toxic whatever. But I didn't know, and I thought this was not funny, but there was. It's not funny because people were, their water's in trouble, but there was a leak on the train, and if you don't know this, there was a leak on the train, and to stop the leak, they just blew it up.
Wait, really?
Burn it off.
Yeah, there was a leak, and I guess there was some sort of pressure where it was going to blow up anyway, so they just blew it up.
Controlled explosion.
And that's why all that shit is everywhere, is because they blew it up.
There was no better way
to
handle
that girl just butchered that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know. I mean,
girl from Furman looked like she was in the explosion.
We're watching a Clemson at Furman softball in the office.
Furman left fielder looked like she was on the train.
I just can't.
Wow.
I can't believe we're still transporting big stuff through trains.
I think it's just an inexpensive way. Not inexpensive, because I'm sure there's a lot of money in it, but I'm sure it's just an inexpensive way to get places a lot of shit. I mean, if you look at those trains,
Trains are
the 3 miles long.
So cool.
Yes.
They are the coolest
Trains are
things.
awesome.
But
plus you get an access to tracks if they're in good condition. You don't have to worry about roads and closures and things. So I think it's quicker to regionally ship things by train. But What do I know? They're still out there. There's a lot of engineers out there.
The power of a train blows my mind. How one locomotive can pull all of that stuff.
Go watch the movie Unstoppable with Denzel. That was filmed over in Weirton, or up in Weirton. No, was that Weirton or is that in Ohio?
Steubenville, I think, wasn't it?
The one in Weirton was that one with Christian
Super
Bale.
what was that? What was Christian?
The in Out of the Furnace.
I don't remember.
That was one up in, I think, in Weirton. But you might be right. That Denzel one might be.
Yeah.
Or the Taking of Pelham. What was it? 1, 2, 3 or whatever. So they kidnapped the train guy.
No.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is that here?
I don't know where that was shot. Nearby, I feel like, though. This is a huge railway area. All us through Pittsburgh, in the B&O, Baltimore and Ohio, all the way from the East Coast.
I wish they still had the one on the trail. I wish that one was still going.
No, I do too.
Go smash some
Trains
pennies.
are awesome. I agree.
Trains are really cool. Especially the Ogilvy Zoo.
Amtrak's, too.
Cool's bad news.
Oh.
The 9th dead whale washes up on New Jersey shore in 2 months.
What do you attribute that to? The bad water?
Yeah, probably the leak.
I mean, did you see the size of that one humpback whale? I mean, it looked like it almost looks like
a
people
bantha?
or way bigger. I mean, I know those things are monsters, but it really puts it in perspective when you have people standing looking like little
ants.
micro machines down there when this thing is beached on the beach,
I gotta
like
look
literally
this up.
beached.
I didn't see
Wait
this.
till you see if you get
Do
that
they
one
have
of the humpback. This last one, I don't know if it was a humpback too. I don't know if I don't think they've all been humpbacks, but those humpback whales, I mean, they are so big. I don't even know what to compare it to. I guess it's the closest thing that we could imagine to like dinosaurs almost. The size of them.
I wonder why they're able to grow so big. Like if you think of any other animal on the face of the planet, there's nothing that comes even close to as big as it. Maybe it's like maybe there's no. I don't know, because there's pressure underwater, but like maybe the
just all that blubber. I don't know. They eat too much KFC. I don't know. I don't know what to attribute. They go shop and save a lot.
I read something where back in the, of course, if you're not familiar, if you're just been under a rock, but dinosaurs were obviously much bigger, and there were animals and mammals much bigger than the animals and mammals that are around now. It's like the common sloth now, the three-toed sloth, used to be, bigger than an elephant.
Yeah.
And they said, I think the reason that they said that things shrunk were back before the dinosaurs got wiped out. Oxygen levels on planet Earth were so much higher than what they are now, and because of that, more oxygen is able to get in their blood and organs, and you're able to grow.
Pump you up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why our boy,
giant guy?
Robert Wadlow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe oxygen was better back when he was around. Speaking of, we've talked this before. And sorry, I keep hogging the mic here. But,
go for it.
We're talking about sea life, and then I know we talk about crazy things found in luggage. Dolphin skull found in luggage at Detroit Airport.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. But again, sometimes these dolphins are washing up on shore, too. So let's hope they didn't kill the poor dolphin.
Is that
it's dead.
Are dolphin heads worth something?
I'm not really sure. I
Not
mean,
like ivory?
I wouldn't. No, I don't think they'd be ivory. Their bones would be made up similar to stuff like ours. Cartilage and
how do they find you're not allowed to take I guess you're not allowed to just take a skull.
Take a skull.
I can only imagine those guys that work at the scanning stations at the TSA, the shit they see in those bags.
That almost would be kind of a fun job to have.
I think you said that before. I think that would be maybe neat for a couple minutes, and then I'd be done with that for about a day.
If you
know how many assholes you'd have to deal with?
If you could be like in a room, if you could be a room like above.
Just seeing the scannings, yeah. I'm going to be the supervisor. I don't want to be on the floor.
Oh, God, no. But, maybe what we had, if anybody listening is a TSA X-ray scanner or whatever, and you see the stuff that goes through, we'd love to talk to you and see some of the weirdest shit you've seen.
Can you imagine like old grandma Selma coming in, taking her shoes off to go through the thing, got her wicked toenails.
That's bad enough with the...
You're talking about the scanning people's bodies? I was talking about their bags.
But I mean, that's what you got to be a part of. You got to
do when they pee the dog.
What if she's trying to hide something up inside of her?
Man.
What about the chicken with the gun in it?
That was stuffed.
We don't know what that was about.
People
dolphin
really
heads,
think
chickens.
they can get away with things.
I mean, people bringing guns in there, fireworks, sex toys. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah. Like there was some dominatrix got stopped with like a mace and like whips and stuff. Like, better check that bag next time. Send it down to the.
Why is it that you can check like a bottle of water, but you can't bring it on the plane?
Well, I guess because they can stow it down below. But
can you just make like a time bomb from a grenade?
But those get scanned too.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they do.
Scanned.
Like when you put it to get checked, it goes through the same thing. It's just back at the counter instead of in front of every person on the planet.
There's a video that was going around of a lady where they weigh your luggage, and when if you have luggage that's above the weight, you have to pay a fee.
Yeah.
And there was a lady that when the people would put their luggage up on that scale, she would lean forward so their knee would press against that scale, and it would put people above. And they caught her. I don't know whether she was fired.
She's skimming the difference.
Yeah.
Hey, is there a more stressful time than going through TSA?
I'm sure there's some.
Obviously, but like
when you're getting fingerprinted at the police.
Well, that.
But no, you're right.
Tornado.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hurricane.
But I know what you're saying. I think, in my opinion, once I got used to, I will say the first time I flew after 9/11 was a little bit tough because you didn't know what to expect. Nobody really did, and you're kind of feeling your way along, and these people are on extra heightened alert, so they're kind of like mean to you almost. And honestly, in hindsight, I'm glad they are, because I don't want to blow up or have somebody hijack my plane. But I think once I got used to the restrictions, like, you can't bring toothpaste, and you can't bring this and that and razors, and you got all these restrictions. I like to travel, like, when I'm going through there, like a backpack with just a few things, and that's it. Makes it easier. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. At first, it is stressful.
Well, I'm real horrified of authority. Like, authority to me, I'm real like. I don't like to break the law. I don't like to even come close to breaking the law.
You're like a soldier.
But I always feel like it's the same thing. You're getting pulled over. You feel like you did something wrong, even though you didn't. You feel like, they're gonna find something in my bag. I think I mentioned it before, but like they're gonna find like.
I think the worst.
You had a water bottle one time, didn't you?
Oh my God!
You would have thought
there's lighter fluid in there.
You would have thought I had a stick of C4 in my bag. How they treated me for having a bottle of water. Yeah. But as long as I'm not getting thrown on the ground and...
Do you guys ever get called over to the side and get the random check?
Nick got called. His
Seems
bag
like the same people always get those.
Didn't your mom got stopped because of that hot sauce, right?
Yeah, she had there's like a box full of little bottles of hot sauce from all over the place. And
I used to hate having to travel for work, so when I would travel with like cameras and computers and stuff, and to take the batteries out of them and all this stuff, and it's like, this is terrible. I mean, I get why they're doing it, and thank God they do it. But yeah, it would be it's nerve wracking if you're not used to it. But
that's a tough job. It is. I mean,
pain in the ass. Imagine that living with yourself after that. Like, I mean, like that you let somebody get by you and it ended up killing people. I mean,
that's
a lot to live with.
Hey, it's a little more, I guess, lighthearted. An emu escapes and is chased by police outside of Boston.
I don't.
Why were the police out there?
I don't get that. Like, I mean, I guess I don't want to hit it with a car. It might do some damage, but I don't know.
You guys remember when?
It's like that commercials with this stupid emu.
Anyone who likes
is that insurance?
Anybody?
Yeah, Emu and
Doug. Fuck Doug.
Yeah, Doug. What is that? What the fuck? Company is
Liberty
that?
Mutual?
Liberty Mutual.
Is it Liberty Mutual?
But you guys remember not a couple years ago, like a decade ago, when all those animals escaped? We talked about this.
Yes.
God, I keep bringing
fucking
things up.
Leopards running on Interstate 70.
Yeah.
I used to be terrified. I'd go out and cut the grass, and like a lion would come out of the woods.
That concerned me. You don't want to be. That would be something that. Can you imagine that lions like running through here, and if they were able to breed out here or something? Oh God!
It'd be like
chimps in the woods.
Although there's plenty of people I'd like to see them eat. I can line them up down in Warwood. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. Super Bowl party featuring lion eating.
It'd be a buffet for them.
I do miss. I was alive for that Coliseum games where the Roman emperors would have the animals come in and devour people.
Hey, John,
that's my kind of entertainment.
Have you been in Dallas recently?
I don't think.
Man arrested after taking monkeys from Dallas Zoo.
And they're on to me. No, I like monkeys, and I like looking at them and reading stories about them. but I don't want anything to do with them. Like, I don't want to touch them. I don't want them hanging around with me.
You don't want them sharing your bathroom.
No, because
I'm sure you avoid that very often.
1 minute they're going to be hanging out and playing with this duck toy or whatever, and then the next minute they're going to have my head and
biting off your
my
fingers.
Eyeballs out.
Remember Travis the chimp?
Yeah,
you were biting your fingers off.
Yeah, they're scary. They're pretty.
He got
scary.
to eat lobster every night, and he still got pissed.
There was an orangutan. I watched a video of an orangutan. He was doing something like, I think he was putting a straw in a juice box. He was drinking the juice box.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Hey, they are smart.
It's just insane.
Would you have been someone that would go into the hills of Chad or in the middle of Congo or Zaire, any of those places, and go and talk to the apes like Diane Fossey? Can you believe a woman did that?
No
that
chance.
She actually went and was like trying to communicate. Was a silverback sitting by Jub, and she's here talking to two of the females, like trying to do sign language to him. I can't imagine how terrifying that would be.
My thing is with them is, and I get she was trying to do a good thing, and she has all these, and I have my book here, my Jane Goodall Institute.
There you go.
My calendar,
Monkey calendar,
which Jane does a great job, and I know that she's helped preserving these chimps and these gorillas and stuff like that. But my thing is, trying to befriend them is not a good thing to do. I think trying to befriend them and try to make them like they're a pet, it only makes people want them, and then that in turn makes people go out and try to keep these little monkeys in their house instead of out roaming free. Don't talk about keeping them and I know it's good to preserve them, but let them be free. Let them enjoy their life and let them leave them alone.
Do you feel the same thing about like the whales at SeaWorld and stuff?
Yeah, just leave them alone. Don't fuck with them.
But do you think that it was cool to an extent that we were able to see these things up close that maybe we never would have been?
Yeah, now I think it'd definitely be a good place if you took like maybe an injured one or one that wouldn't survive out in the wild.
Sure, yeah.
Take those and put them in a zoo. But just having a zoo for people to come, like little kids,
a bunch of one-legged animals.
Yeah, just have them. But I mean, like, just have
the one-eyed gorilla.
But like, or just have a rotation.
Gorillas who are blind and maimed.
But like, instead of having like little kids coming and pick their nose and like look at these animals and thinking they're so great, we're like, just leave them alone.
I always feel like they do a disadvantage to those animals when they raise them in captivity and then release them to the wild. I feel like they die quick.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like a suicide mission.
Like they don't have any idea what the real world's like.
We get like raised our whole lives and they just dropped us on the Amazon.
Yeah, so you got to survive. Go out in the sea. Sure.
Eat tree bark.
Have you guys ever went to SeaWorld or any places like
we went together.
Yeah, I've been to SeaWorld.
And like aquariums. Those things are neat. I mean, but I get it. And those animals, do you remember the whale that attacked that guy? Like I think he killed him. The trainer?
Yeah, it was
He thought he was playing, right? One of the Shamus.
Yeah, and they grabbed him and drug him under the water. Right. And I'm assuming
and
the
they
whale
shook him to death.
Yeah, but sure, the whale just thinks he's having a fun time.
I think they thought like the whale had no ill will, like he wasn't mad.
I do think one of those guys got out. I think he was okay, but I know there's probably been a couple that have not been so lucky. But it's thinking that you're signing up for the territory.
You guys ever seen Jaws 3? Where that shark comes into the park?
Oh, yeah.
That one's terrifying. I'll never go in one of those underground tunnels again. Because that one was like, their water park was right up against the real outside of the ocean. Like, it was all encompassing. That was terrifying.
I can't say I've seen Jaws 3.
Oh, yeah, you got to check it out. There you go.
And he got into the
He's into the park. Yeah, he's into the park.
Doesn't he eat I think he eats a...
He eats a lot of things.
Yeah.
He's breaking down the tunnel, and it's Lewis Gossett Jr. I think it's eating.
Like I think that those wildlife preserves where they have them the big like buffaloes and like in Yosemite, I think that's great. Like,
right,
you're not,
and that's like Yellowstone. I've been there, and it's all wild.
Yeah,
it's basically like they build a park, but they don't mess with the animals in their habitat.
They just let them live.
And they let them go. You're
not
really
fucking with them instead of shoving like a panda in a box that's like no bigger than this office just to like take pictures of them. Just let them be. Just let them be. Don't fuck with the animals, man.
Hey Matt, this Screen Crush says this article. Is Jaws 3D really one of the worst movies ever made?
Wait, Jaws 3D?
Yeah, I looked up Jaws 3, and it just all I see is Jaws. Oh no, there it is. There's Jaws.
Yeah, that's
3.
the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think they're doing like a water ski thing at this water park like SeaWorld at the beginning, and the shark gets in there and eats somebody. And
the DVD,
it's pretty cool.
The DVD is $6.99 on Amazon. It's 30% off right now.
Bargain. Jump on and get it if you haven't seen it.
I feel like $9.99 for Jaws 3 DVD is a very steep price on Amazon.
We'll have a watch party down here.
I think maybe Dennis Quaid's in that movie. I think.
Oh,
not Randy Quaid, not cousin Eddie. Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid, Bess Armstrong,
Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah, Louis Gossett Jr.
I think he's like the director.
Simon McCorkindale and John Putch.
He's a British guy.
One thing I want to bring up before we move on to some history real quick and then wrap it up. We got to talk about the UFOs. We got to talk about them. We got
These
things getting
objects in the
shot
sky.
down all over the place.
Aren't they just balloons?
Well, that's what people.
No, but then there's other things that Joe talked about on the radio yesterday.
They shot down the Chinese spy balloon, which is still not even known as a spy balloon yet. Which I think it's like they got caught with their balloon over. Well, number one, why would they never give a warning to anybody and say, "Hey, we got a balloon drifting your way"?
Yeah.
Two, when I think they're saying, "Hey, don't shoot it down. It's just for meteorological survey stuff." And then when we shoot it down, then they get all mad. I think it's going to be like they don't expect us to find anything. We're going to find that they've been spying on us, and then it's like a little kid that got caught like doing something that he should be doing. But anyway, after that, so within the past 2 weeks, there have been 4 more objects shot down. There was an octagonal object over top of Lake Huron. There was a cylindrical object over top of Canada somewhere, and then I'm not sure what the third one was. But I read a report where one of the generals or whoever was actually in charge of the United States Air Force and keeping airspace clean, he said that he wasn't ruling out alien activity or aliens yet. So then I read this morning that all of the objects that have been shot down are just nothing but benign balloons, which is such a disappointment.
What the hell are they doing there then?
I know. Well, and it's like, why have we never seen them before? Why
all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's chemical warfare.
What's the first course of action if he said, okay, all 3 of them were aliens?
Well, that's my thing is, even if they were, there's no way that they would make a report and say, "Hey, we got aliens here," because it would just throw everybody into a panic.
No, that's why they don't tell us.
So
stuff.
to me, even though they're saying they're balloons, I still don't exactly believe that.
Freaked
I don't
out.
think they're sending down balloons.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying they're saying they are balloons, but they could be
Yeah, a
whatever. Yeah,
it's a flying disc.
have a little gray man in them. But I think it's one of those weird things where it's like, this is really messed up, and I hate to even admit this. It's like when there's like a storm or something, and like things are getting knocked over and trees are getting snapped. It's like there's something in you that wants that to keep going. Like you want to see it like go nuts. To me, it's like I want to see aliens. I know that the potentiality of them coming here and ruining the whole planet and destroying everybody and killing, blowing the place up is probably pretty high. Or I said to Coach this morning, what if they came and they gave us all this new technology and we expanded, we found cures to diseases.
Hey, maybe the alien women can cook too. None of our women nowadays want to cook anymore.
Can you imagine new alien food? Oh.
Yeah.
So if an alien came by and said,
Jarrett can't wait to have alien chicken tenders. God.
Hey.
Do they have Raising Cane's there in the...
It's like a drive-through in space.
It's like in Spaceballs. They have that diner.
You think that'll be a thing one day? They'll have like a restaurant float, like a McDonald's floating in space.
Mars Calamari.
And you can just like stop by.
Yeah. I watched a movie last night called The Wandering Earth. It's on Netflix. It's a Chinese movie. Oh. Pretty good. Go look at that one. Cools, real quick, while we're still here, we got This Week in History. You got to hit us with something?
I saw.
Oh, he's on there this week.
He is.
15th, I think.
February 15th, 1936, It's actually not a bad one this time. Hitler announces construction of the People's Car, a.k.a. the Volkswagen Beetle.
Wow.
I never knew that.
So if you're driving a Beetle, you're a Nazi.
Well, that was the persona that Volkswagen had to get over when they were trying to sell cars in our country for years. Like an older generation of people that were probably like in their like 60s and 70s in like the 80s and stuff, like they wouldn't buy those. They would not buy those or any German cars for that matter. So they rebuilt the brand back up after
I can't believe they overcame that.
Cooley's boy shut her down. But yeah, wonder if he was riding around. I can see him riding around in one of those vinyl top Beetles.
You think it had like the eyelashes on it?
Yeah,
probably.
Herbie the Love
No, they were mustaches instead of eyelashes.
Yeah.
Herbie, it wasn't Herbie the Love Bug. It was Herbie like the SS officer.
Yeah, right.
Herbie.
Let's see, who was worse, Hitler or in February 15th, 1220, Genghis Khan captures Bukhara, killing over 30,000 people?
Well, Hitler was worse.
Yeah.
Because Khan was just trying to represent his people, even though he was a
ruthless,
violent warmonger. But, at least he gave the people that were fighting him a fighting chance. He didn't put them in a chamber and kill children. Yeah. So, anyway.
Jarrett's boy's on here, February 15th, 1978.
Ted Bundy?
My boy?
What?
Jeez, Ted Bundy.
I was looking through here everywhere. I saw February 14th, 1849, Polk becomes first sitting U.S. president to be photographed.
Yeah. James K.
Yeah, I say James K. Polk. I feel like he's probably you think he's probably a forgotten president?
He's a dapper guy. Yeah, I'm sure.
Who do you think the most forgotten president is?
Sorry.
Millard Fillmore.
Zachary
Taylor?
Yeah, Zach Taylor. He's probably...
Well, no, there's a football coach named for him.
Named after Zachary Taylor, the president.
Franklin Pierce?
Big one here for me. Okay. I love this story. It's not a great story, but I always call people this when I think they're sick. February 19th, 1910, Typhoid Mary... Malon leaves forced isolation and goes to cause outbreaks all across New York. So now, if you don't know who Typhoid Mary is, so there's a thing called a healthy carrier. So you could have the world's worst disease that's spreadable, but your body or the way that your body was either genetic code it might not just affect you.
Right.
It's like Ellie from The Last of Us.
Yeah, so you could just be totally immune to this disease. So what Mary Malon, Typhoid Mary, she was a healthy carrier of this disease. I believe it was something like smallpox or it wasn't the plague. It
wasn't the plague.
Typhoid.
That's what it was. But it was like I'm trying to think how they said that she developed it. Was it like for botulism or something? It's how but her body became like you said. They initially showed signs to where she had to go in this quarantine that she just broke out of it because it went away and she's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go kill people."
It says real quick, typhoid fever is a bacterial disease spread through contaminated food and water.
Yeah, so like botulism,
I think she worked in a kitchen.
She was like a server or maid or something like that. Yeah,
and just spread this disease all over the place. I wonder how they traced it back to her.
I watched a show on that, and it was really fascinating, and I honestly don't remember.
That's another thing. I mean, we could say that, like, the aliens
this is just a little piece of it. I remember watching the show, and it was someone was investigating it, and they were starting to trace back how these certain people were getting it. And the only person the link was like her, and then they started backtrack. But I mean, think about in those times how hard it is to have done that.
No idea, because you think the only people that are sick are the people that look sick, that are sick.
Right. Yeah, and then by the time you show signs of it, you've already given it to us three.
Yeah.
So she left and just said,
she basically deliberately just said, "I'm going to infect these people because I want to,"
and then it just went crazy.
Yeah.
No, she was alive.
All right, so she wasn't sick.
No, she was perfectly fine. It's like
that was what made it so dangerous. It's like no one knew there was anything wrong with her.
I looked. It said it was the infection center was in her gallbladder.
There you go. Yep.
She admitted that she almost never washed her hands.
Ew.
It said this was not unusual at the time. The germ theory of disease still was not fully accepted. So
there you go.
People were
Fuck
really
you,
smart
Typhoid
back
Mary.
then.
She was an okay woman. She just didn't.
She's
know.
a lot. She's worse.
she'd be like
she's
cooking
worse
these
than
people's dinners and stuff.
she's worse than my girl, Joan of Arc.
Well, yeah. I mean, relatively, sure.
Yeah, so it was like similar to salmonella. Like this was
Yeah.
that's how it originated. Because I remember him saying like she ate something and it was like salmonella, botulism, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yucky.
Well, anything else on here we want to hit real quick?
How about Pavarotti, February 17th, 1972? 17 curtain calls at one show.
Is that where he comes back out and then goes back and then comes back out?
Yeah.
17 times is insane.
That's nuts.
So after
I would say I'd cheer for 17 curtain calls from him. I wish I would have been alive in that time to be able to see those three tenors. I said that before on here. I think those dudes are incredible. Can you imagine singing like that?
Luciano Pavarotti was one of the three tenors who was it. He was an opera singer.
They're opera singers,
And he was-
And I know it sounds stupid, but if you hear these dudes sing, it like gives you chills. How
It's nuts.
how their
So-
voice, how they can turn it like
It's
that.
17 straight encores, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Basically,
at
yes.
one show.
Yes. Can you imagine
Shut
after
up.
like the 12th, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And he was a big guy. He's
okay.
out there sweating. He God, he had it.
17.
Like,
Gosh,
after-
imagine people. What? That's like Kanye West and Jay-Z in Paris. They have a song. I'm not allowed to say the name. Fellas in Paris. They played the song. He played it 11 times in a row in Paris one time.
No, we did it.
11 times, I
I would have
swear.
left after like the first
11 times. I can't even imagine. After like
Yeah,
the
like-
third time, I'd be like,
Yeah, okay, all right.
okay.
Who was
this
that? Kanye?
Kanye, yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of good rappers, Say's boy, Tupac.
Yeah.
All Eyes on Me, released February 13th, 1996. You guys,
probably was a good.
it was a great album.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
probably one of the big, I don't know, stepping stones, I guess, for rap.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes, absolutely. Great. We miss Tupac for sure. Almost as good as Socrates. February 15th, 399, Socrates sentenced to death in Athens for allegedly corrupting the minds of the youth.
I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, at least we're not
Sentence us to
going to
death.
have to drink poison or something like they had to do. One other one, too, I think this never gets mentioned a lot, but are you guys aware that in 1942, February 19th, 1942, internment camps for the Japanese Americans started to be established? The president actually ordered this, President Franklin Roosevelt. And over 100,000 of these people were put into basically concentration camps.
Yeah.
They weren't obviously going to be executed and subjected to the kinds of things that Hitler did to the Jewish people, but they put these people, these were Americans, and they rounded them up and put them in there. I mean, I've watched some shows on it. It's crazy how afraid we were because the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor that all these people were involved in it. It's just silly that you'd have that kind of a thought process.
We watched a movie on that when we were in, I think, middle school or high school. It's just insane. Nuts. I guess I should mention this, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up here, but ties into the whole day. Happy birthday to Cools. February 14th, 1929, St. Valentine's Day. Massacre in Chicago. 7 gangsters are killed on Al Capone's orders.
Yeah.
Shut him down on the day of love.
And he didn't get the guy he was trying to kill.
No.
So, what a shame. Any good birthdays that Cooley shares with? Probably not.
There's no Valentine's.
Yeah, no
birthdays on
Valentine's birthdays on there.
Yeah, there really isn't. I looked and I looked a couple times and I didn't see anybody that was that could. Oh, Cooley, you got the day to yourself. You know,
Yeah,
yeah. You
say,
got
it's Cooley's day.
Vanna White.
Vanna White.
Ed Sheeran's birthday's later in the week.
Maybe in like 10 years, I'll be one of the celebrities on this.
Yeah.
Megan Thee
This birthday
Stallion.
week.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown's 18.
Oh, real quick before we go here, I wanted to tell you this because I wrote this in my notes. I thought you guys would think this is funny. Yesterday I was driving and I saw a lady and she was running and she bent over and I thought, oh, she's throwing up or she's literally going to pass out. I get parallel to her.
Is this
and
on the path trail?
Where was I? I was coming out of.
Oh, you were driving. Okay.
I was coming out of the tunnel. And she was running down towards.
Okay, down on Main
North Wheeling.
Street. Yeah.
So I'm coming out of the tunnel and she bends over and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, she's going to either throw up or pass out. And I get parallel to her because there's traffic, so I'm slow and she's still moving there. I turn left. She's lighting a cigarette.
Oh.
Lighting a cigarette. She puts the cigarette in her mouth, starts running again.
Like she's in jogging gear. Like she's out for an exercise.
Yes, smoking and running at the same time.
Oh my good God!
I think that's kind
of
like
eating Twinkies while you're on the treadmill.
Yeah, I think that's a little counter.
Oh come on!
I thought it was incredible. I wrote it in my phone immediately.
No, that's something to see.
Jesus, what a dumbass.
Well, let's leave you on a quote here. And we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening to The Pine Room, episode 47. We're back here in the studio. Thank you to Jerry Thomas for calling in. Thank you to Jeff for stopping in for as long as he could. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Happy birthday to Cools and everybody else who has a birthday today. Hopefully you have a good day of love. We love you here at The Pine Room. You're loved by all of us. Congratulations to Austin, our AirPods winner. Listen to us on WKKX and WVLY. You can listen to us Mondays 2 to 3. That is WKKX and WVLY. You can listen online or on the radio 2 to 3 on Mondays. This episode wasn't sponsored. No sponsors for us today. If you haven't seen us, go to YouTube, watch the new BSB Belmont Savings Bank workout with Brad Becca. And that's pretty much all for announcements. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, we appreciate everything you do. Thanks for following us. We got 3 more till 50, so stick around. And without further ado, life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. So thank you.
Emerson.
Go experience it with your life.
Do it tonight with your wife or girlfriend or mistress.
And we will see you here next time in the Pine.
Get out to the
Happy
Toughman.
Valentine's
Good
Day.
night.
Well, it's that time. The coolers are empty, the food's all gone, and the games are over. But that's all right. There's always next week. Follow us on social media to keep up to date with future shows and send any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to discuss to contact@thepineroompodcast.com. Until then, we'll see you here next time in the Pine Room.